for common man. Common man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's out there to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, on real pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot. Hooty-hoo! Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
Later.
For the first time all day, the Thunder forced the punt, 4th and 15, and Deuce takes the long snapping honors. Deuce snaps it. He snaps it to the up man. It's Robbie, and Robbie looks surprised. He hasn't seen the football all day, and Robbie's flag is snatched. What was he thinking? Now there's a man with a backwards beret running out on the field while talking on the phone. He's yelling at Deuce, and yes, Deuce did just yell back, you're insane, because he tried to snap it to the up man. The Thunder give up the ball deep in their own territory. Not sure what Deuce was thinking there.
You like that? You like that? That's a bunch of malarkey.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North.
That's not even close to
this is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Here on the Common Man program, we owe it to all of you, all of our listeners, and I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I think I have 5 listeners. Was that 5 or 4? It sounds more like 3, 6, 7, whatever the case may be. I'm Common. Brett Blakemore in today for Tennessee, who's off a bit early. A lot of people are getting a early start to the holiday season. It is Christmas Eve, Christmas Day tomorrow. Then the day of, then is it called Black Friday? No, it's Good Friday. No, Good Friday's Easter season. Black Friday's after Thanksgiving. I get all my special days mixed up. I will say this though. You heard the soundbite of the Tasteless Box of Mashed Potatoes, Justin Gard doing the one where Deuce yelled, "You're insane." I mean, yeah, he was only like 6, 7 years old. But of course, that was all. I don't know if you probably realize this, but maybe you don't. That was not a real play-by-play highlight. That wasn't
what?
That game wasn't being broadcast anywhere. No! And somehow it morphed into football, it sounded like to me. This was at a soccer game. Deuce never played. My boys never played football. I didn't discourage them from playing football, but I didn't encourage them either because, you see how CTE, hello, and anterior cruciate ligament tear this, exterior, interior, anterior, it's a very physical and violent game that can leave people crippled. So I thought it would be better off if they didn't. And I think they learned that after watching, they said, I think the old man's right. So they chose basketball for baby brother Peter, hoops for baby brother Peter. Deuce started with soccer, and then he moved on to cross country and track. But in that soccer game, I'm in my lawn chair, and I don't even remember what it was, but it was just an awful play on his part. And he looked over at me because it was right in front of me, and I looked at him, I kind of gave him this, that quizzical look where you kind of tilt your head and you look and you're like, dude, what was that? And that's where, and it was probably, because he is only 6'7", and so it probably wasn't the thing to do to give him that kind of a look, because it's really not that big of a deal. But I was astounded that he could make such a awful, I remember he made some bad decision. That's when he yelled at me as loud as he goes, "You're insane."
I always love that one.
It's one of my proudest moments as a parent. Because I played football, both sides of the ball. Fierce pass rushing, rocket Gibraltar, run stopping, defensive lineman, precise route running, short pass catching, tight end. I've told this story before. I knew once I got to 7th grade, when I was no longer fierce pass rushing, rocket Gibraltar, run stopping, defensive lineman, and precise route running, short pass catching, tight end, that I wasn't big enough for that. So when I got to 7th grade and all the weight classes were together, every kid from, if you were 75 pounds to 300 pounds, and they said, well, you can't play on the line anymore or tight end. You have to be defensive back. And it wasn't trained yet, wasn't any good. Rosen would have been great. He's a great backpedaler. I was not, right? I moved forward and I rarely changed my mind. And I realized right away that what people like players like me, what we were for, we were the tackling dummies and the blocking sleds for the first stringers. I said, oh, I see how this works, because I was never going to see the field, right? Third string. Suit up on game day, 100 of you over on the sideline, but you don't, it's sort of like the end of the bench with the Timberwolves or any NBA team. You ain't seen the game. There ain't no chance. You know it. You don't even break a sweat. Matter of fact, I'm assuming there are guys in the NBA that during warm-ups, the guys at the end of the bench, they go, I'm not going to really warm up real hard because I don't want to break a sweat and have to shower before I go home. I just want to be able to take my uniform off and go, right? Which is the way I would approach it, a stitch in time saves 6 or 7. And so I would want to save the time. So that's why I got out of it early, man. I said, I'm done. And you know what? No knee replacements, no hip replacements, no CTE that I know of. However, the trail I did go down, I jumped off the straight and narrow, went down the long and winding. And that consisted of a whole multicolored galaxy of uppers and downers and screamers and laughers. Did you know there's nothing more depraved than a man in the depths of an ether bench? So maybe I have long-term damage from altering my mind. I don't know. I don't think some people would say, listening to me, say, well, yeah, it's obvious. Just, I don't know if you listen to air checks. There was a time where you'd sit down with a boss and then you'd play back your show and they'd go over what you did. Yeah, okay. We used to do employee reviews here too, though we haven't done one of those in decades. Why bother? Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Got to stop winging it. We don't need a wet blanket Tuesday, and it's going to be tough to do a wet blanket Tuesday on Christmas Eve. It's hard. But here's what I want to ask you. Mary and Joseph ended up staying in a manger, right? The baby Jesus was born in a manger because there was no room at the inn. That's Joseph's fault. I pin it on him. How do you decide to go on vacation in a major metropolis like Bethlehem without a reservation? Just going to roll into town? Hey, looking for a room. Need one with
you don't plan these things?
Need one with, I don't know if I'm going to need the bassinet, but we kind of think so. She's quite a ways along, and they go, well, we ain't got no rooms. We're full at the inn. Hey, there's some sheep herders just outside of town. You can go try there. Maybe they got a bale of hay you can use. And lo and behold, we 3 kings from Orient are. And he was born. I think Jesus had Mary's eyes, but he had God's nose. Well, that's all I can imagine.
Assume.
That's all I can assume. Boy, we got a lot to get to today. Birth of the baby Jesus. A critical NFC Northern Division Oh, wait. Yeah. A plane out the string, Northern Division collision tomorrow at the bank. It's a whiteout. We got that to get to. There's a whole slate of NFL games. Wild lose again. Going into the, they're not actually going into a break. They're getting a break from home because we have the World Junior. What is it called? Is it World Juniors?
World Juniors.
World Juniors is being played here in town over at the, Grand Casino.
Not the
Arena.
Fuse Box anymore.
Right, not the Fuse Box anymore. Wolves win. All they do is they're taking care of business every day. And then the holiday tomorrow, what's everybody going to get and all this and that. So I don't even know where to begin today. I really don't. So why don't we spin the wheel of topic?
Brett's golf game.
Oh! Well, you recently played.
Oh, that's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, and where'd we play?
What did you shoot today?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It was Sunday. It was an 85.
Where'd we play?
At Auction Southern Dunes in Maricopa, Arizona.
Oh.
Where'd you hit it on one?
A little left, but we're on grass, which down there, that's all that counts.
Yeah.
So
did you bring a rock club with you?
I brought two of them.
I learned early in golfing in Phoenix or anywhere in the desert, bring a rock club. Usually bring two, a 7-iron and a 3-iron. And then, because you don't want to take your brand new, beautiful, expensive golf clubs and try to hit it off the rocks. That's not good.
I mean, I get tools, not jewels, but yeah, having a desert club or two is a good thing.
How far from the green were you?
I want to say I had about a 9 in.
You had
Second
a McCarthy out.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the technical term.
Yeah.
Second shot?
Pulled it into the greenside bunker.
That's
Then
McCarthy
what?
like.
Yeah, that's also wide left.
Yeah.
Then what?
Went bunker to bunker.
Then what?
Bunker to bunker.
Did you say bumper to bumper? Were you working the Dan Barrero show?
Hang on. I don't think there's a rim shot on this.
Let me guess, you made a double.
I did.
But then you must have turned it around because an 85 is a nice number.
I did. So the round before that, I shot like the worst round of 2025. So then I make double on one. I'm thinking, well, here we go again. So I loosen her up a little bit. I go on a run, bogey, par, bogey, par, par, bogey, par.
Nice.
We're rolling.
If you make nothing worse than bogey on a golf course, you'll generally post a good score because you're bound to make a handful of pars, and if you just don't make doubles and triples, you'll have a good score. Well, what happened then?
So at the turn, I can feel me starting to get a little tired. Double on 9, thinking, uh-oh.
You're getting
here we
tuckered?
Go. Sometimes if I don't eat, I need some food. So I get food at the turn, bogey, birdie, it was like a 150 par 3.
What'd you get at the turn to eat?
Some tenders. They just had some chicken tenders there.
So you got
Scarfed
some tenders?
those down.
What kind of dipping? Let me guess. You did a honey mustard.
I just did plain.
Oh, you just did plain. I'm the same way. I don't really I'm kind of a purist. I mean, if I was going to do a dipping sauce, I'm probably more of a, I would do like some kind of a ranch. You know, actually, the very best dipping sauce pretty much for anything is like blue cheese. Ooh, yeah. I don't do much blue cheese anymore, but yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
I was more interested in what you had to turn than your but continue, please.
Because you're on 11, it's a 150 par 3. I stick my 7-iron to like 5 feet.
No.
Uphill putt, bury it.
Yes.
Here we go.
Did you fist pump?
Incredible.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Do that. You bend over, you pull the sock up a little bit to get the ball. It's unbelievable.
What day was this again? How long?
This was Sunday.
You know, about what time of the day was that? Your time.
Local, probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
So that would have been about
2 here.
Was about 2 o'clock here?
Yeah.
Because I thought I heard roars coming from the southwest right about that time. That was the gallery cheering you on as you buried the birdie putt.
Incredible.
I go on a run, so that birdie.
What hole is that, by the way?
That was 11.
You've never not birdied number 11 at Maricopa Country Club. No, what's the name of the place again?
Southern Dunes.
At Southern Dunes. You've never not birdied it. If anybody said to you, what do you think of the 11th hole at Southern Dunes? Just say, I've never not birdied it. That's all I know.
One for one.
I've only made birdies.
100%. Par, 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 bogey, 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 par. So that's a 40 on the back.
Wow.
Ended up with an 85.
That's a
which
nice
is pretty
round.
good.
Well, yeah, especially on vacation golf.
Yeah. And you have to bring your clubs.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, my wife I talked. So this is what somebody said. I just love this on the Bradshaw Broughton KFAN text line. He says, "I feel like I've heard some of this before. Are you live or is this best of? I can't tell." Yeah, there's probably not much on the radio that I've said that I've not said before. So I'm going on a little bit of a golf trip here. We're going to head out to California. I think I'm going to write a song called "Going to California," and I had to do some Tetris packing in the car if we were going to take the car. We ended up finding one of Baby Brother Peter's buddies is going to take us there and back as long as I slip him a couple of dollars. So I'm saving a lot of money from parking at the airport or doing one of those, limousines that come and pick you. If you park at the airport to do the limousine, it's $200 plus. And it's like, that's, what I mean? That's probably what the going rate is. I'm not complaining about the price. It's just I'd rather not have to. So I'm going to slip the guy $20 and off I go. They're going to say, you get $20. You did $20. I didn't have to do anything. As I was packing the car, I had to put 2 golf travel bags in there, and I had them stacked on top of each other. And my wife actually goes, Potato goes, "Well, do you need to take both?" You don't get it. You don't understand it. Well, yeah, I can't use somebody else's golf clubs. Do you think Kaprizov just grabs one of Boldy's sticks? Of course not. No! Because they both shoot from the different side. Do they, or do they both right or left?
No, they're both lefty, but it doesn't matter. They're still fitted for you.
Yeah, who's a right-handed golf shooter on the well?
Brock Faber.
I mean, it's not like he's going to grab Brock Faber's hockey stick, right? So, but yeah, so it's all good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's nice to be, and I really feel like this might be the first time. I feel like it feels like I just played golf yesterday. It hasn't been that long ago. I think I'm going to have my A game. I'm looking forward to it. So, it is. Oh, hey, we're behind already. But you know what? There are no rules.
Not on a holiday.
We lay down the law and break it when Josie comes home. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got a little of this, Dad, Lad. Peek at the Purple is next here on the Common Man program, along with Brett Blakemore right here on the Fan.
Minnesota becomes a world stage this winter. The 2026 IHF World Juniors brings the best young hockey talent from across the globe right to the state of hockey. Every game is packed with speed, skill, and national pride. Don't miss your chance to witness history. Get your tickets now, mnsportsandevents.org.
We have various ways for you to reach us here at the Fan. 1-800-320-5326. That's our phone number, 1-800-320-5326. It's either disconnected or we won't answer, so don't bother. Then there's booth@kfan.com. Email, that's like, that's gone the way of the Pony Express and the carrier pigeon. We don't do that.
When's the last time you heard this?
Yeah, well, about a week we did while you were away. For the Bradshaw and Broughton KFAN text line, we need another verification code for Hip Cricket, and it comes on your email, which I did not have email on my phone, so I couldn't do it. So I went a week without Hip Cricket. So I went back to email. So we were using it. And then Chad Abbott was the 4th person to attempt to get to so that I could get email on my phone. I've had 3 other people try. They say, it's easy. Then they would do it, and they go, I don't know how to do it. Here's your phone back. And Chad Abbott, so now I can check my email on my phone. So I'm able to now go back to the Bradshaw and Broughton KFAN text line, which is the best way to get a hold of us. This one says, please put a muzzle on your producer for the rest of the show. We don't need any more talk about that team to the east of us or from any of their fans. And I get it. Well, I get it. I mean, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Packers. I mean, I'm no fan of the Packers either. I've said this many times. And here's what's interesting. Because you are a fan of that team from out east, a team that I don't care for at all, that doesn't prevent me from being friends, coworkers, golfing pals. It should probably, but it doesn't. But we will talk a little bit of the past. I mean,
it's not exactly like I'm very high on the club right now.
No.
So,
Well, and you still, I mean, the chances of Green Bay not making the playoffs, I think, are slim to none, but there still is that chance. Lose 2, Lions win 2, Lions take that spot. And I got to admit, and I know you won't be offended by this, that's what I'm hoping for. Though I also will tell you, if the Kitties were to back into the playoffs that way, I'd cock off on the radio, but it would be false bravado because they're not going anywhere. I said that to Steelers guy texted me before the Steelers Kitties game Sunday afternoon. He said 2 8-6 teams that both need to win, and I said, yeah, but neither team's going anywhere. You know, I mean, if either team, I mean, again, there's always that chance. You know, if you just if you catch lightning in a bottle, the moon's in the 7th house, Jupiter aligns with Mars. I suppose Pittsburgh could hoist a Lombardo, and I suppose Detroit could too. But you just look at the makeup of the 2 teams and where they're in, especially the Lions with the injury situation, and their offense not as creative as it used to be under Ben Johnson, and their defense ravaged again by injuries. You just look at it and say, well, they're not going to qualify for postseason play and run past either, San Fran, the Rams, Seattle, a couple of those teams. They have to probably win what? You have to win a wild card game, you got to win a divisional game, and then you got to win the NFC Championship. They're not going to win 3 in a row. Your club could, but my club certainly wasn't going to do so. It doesn't even really matter to me. But it does make it more fun, so I could cock off, do the false bravado, roars, but
here we go.
Play Year of the Cat, and then get drilled in the first round. Oh, what if you do steal one in the first one? You get into the divisional round. But I would think your team. Oh, by the way, let's do Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, and by the way, everybody at Affordable Electric wishes you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, the whole thing. And they would be excited and delighted and honored to do electrical work for you. All you need to do is reach out to affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is, it's shockingly affordable. That'll get your reindeer jumping. On Donner, on Blitzen, Connor and Cupid, Donner, Planner, whatever their names are, I don't know. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges. We're going to see Brosmer tomorrow, and I'm all right with that. I mean, again, I've said this before, and I will say it again. And I don't know if it's split 50-50 with Viking fans or if it's lopsided either way. I had said last week, I'd rather see the Vikings play 3 really exciting football games, because football basically for the most part it's entertainment, right? I want to be entertained for the 3 hours I watch. I don't routes either way. I don't really particularly care for. I mean, if a team is going to get routed, I want it to be the team that my favorite team is playing. And I don't like sloppy games or penalty filled games. I'm not a huge fan of 51-47 games, though I don't really like 6-3 games either. But I wanted the Vikings to play 3 exciting games, have McCarthy show some growth, but lose all 3 so you get a better, you get a 4th place schedule, and then you also get a better draft pick. So with the Kitties and the Vikings tomorrow, may the worst team lose. I mean, that's instead of make the best team win with the worst team, I don't really care. I honestly don't really have a rooting interest because I mean, hell, if the Lions were to win and the Pack lost to the Ravens, well, then all of a sudden, hey, makes the last weekend of the season interesting, but I just don't see the Vikings beating Green. Now, is your guy going to play Love? Is he in or out? Do we know?
Well, so he's limited still in the protocol, last I heard. But the problem is, I mean, especially week 18, let's say he does play this week and they beat the hopefully Lamarless Ravens.
Yeah, we don't know if he's in or out yet either.
Correct. Right? Then there will be nothing to play for week 18 for the border battle. So they may start Willis at that point. Now,
what you talking about, Willis?
The nightmare scenario for me and the deliciousness factor for everyone else is we lose at home to the Ravens. And then now the Vikings get a chance to play spoiler. Yeah. Where it's winning in, losing out, and JJ will be coming back potentially from his hand injury.
Is that good or bad, though?
Well, there's that.
See, here's what I do want to see, and I said this, and I got pushed back as always, because when you have the esoteric approach and think outside the box and don't just go with conventional wisdom, a lot of people have trouble wrapping their arms around it. And my whole theory was, in that Commanders game, where probably the best game that McCarthy played, right? Or what was the second? Who did they beat the next week?
Let's see. After the Commanders game, they beat.
They won 2 in a row.
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
They played. He graded in the end zone.
So he played well in both games, right? And I really thought the Commanders game, he had command, pardon the pun, of the offense and what he was doing. There were 7 minutes to go in the game, and the Vikings are shutting them out. And I thought I texted or tweeted, throw Brosmer. And people, why would you want to do that? Well, because his only real NFL action, I know he's taken a couple of kneel downs and a snap or two prior to this last game. But that Seattle game, he was so bad that the poor kid, if that's his lasting, because who knows, he may never make a roster. Again, I think he will, but who knows? But in the offseason, Vikings keep McCarthy, go out and get another veteran. Brosmer doesn't make the club. Nobody else picks him up. He may never play in the NFL again. And to have your last taste of the NFL, that awful game, so give him a chance to play. And plus, if you think you might need him sometime down the line, which we do now, by the way, you get him some more action. I don't think coaches... I think sometimes coaches, and I think it's in all sports, particularly football, they only see as far as what's in front of their face. They don't look down the future and say, well, JJ's been brilliant here. Last 7 minutes of the game, we're just going to be handing the ball off for the most part, right? Let's get Brosmer back in there and let him feel some success, throw a couple of passes, hand it off, maybe go to a scoring drive, and then he'll feel better about himself. And then if you have to use him, heaven forbid, McCarthy gets a hairline fracture in his hand, friends. Let's just say that would happen. Highly unlikely because he's so durable. But let's say he does, and he has to miss the Christmas Day game against the Vikings. Wouldn't you like to be able to say, well, the last time Brosmer was on the field, he was throwing an underhanded ball wildly to a Seattle player who ran 96 yards the other way? Or would you rather say, he completed some passes, put the team in a field goal range, and had some success out there? It's the way the esoteric approach works. So I think Brosmer could be okay. Will Detroit come out, beef? Yeah, my guess is as long as you're there, you give it the old college try. They've been kind of playing like college teams. But I'd love to see Brosmer play really well. I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd be good for the kid. It'd be good for the club. It'd be good for a disc, dat, lap. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Babies crying is normal. If you're feeling stressed, pause for a moment. Never shake a baby. Shaking can cause permanent harm. Learn more at nevershakemn.com. Nevershakemn.com.
Nice bass riff on this.
Oh, yeah.
So baby brother Peter had to give me a ride to my wife's place of employment. Long story short, I had to take her car in for something. So she had mine. She had my keys in her purse and forgot to take them out. So baby brother Peter had to drive me over there. And baby brother Peter was playing Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's in it. He goes, now was that after your time? Or I said, well, no, I know who they are. I don't mess with them. Then
well, what's the line in the open of Rock Talk? It's anything before 1990 or something?
Well, it's
85.
actually anything that was recorded after 1971.
71.
It doesn't do much for me. But anyway, I said he was playing some, and it was, I told him that when Cities 97, it's not our sister station, it's our second cousin 3 times removed station. When they went all digital 10, 12 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, they allowed us, I don't know, you weren't here then, I don't think, when they allowed us to go, and their studio is the size of, I don't know, it's fairly decent size. It's where Diego is now. That was the Cities 97 place, right? Where they stored the music. I mean, it was CDs galore. They let us go through there and because CDs they're just a thing of the past now, right? So I decided, well, I want to branch out a little bit and listen to some music that was recorded after 1971. So I grabbed Red Hot Chili Peppers and a whole bunch of bands like that from that era, would have been 90s or 2000s or whatever it was. I don't know. And it was okay, but baby brother Peter's into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's a song called California something or other. I don't know. And then I said,
Californication, perhaps?
Well, there's that.
Danny California.
And there was a couple of California type.
A lot of their songs are California-based,
okay.
yes.
So I said to him, have you ever heard California by, Going to California by Led Zeppelin? He goes, no. I said, let's put it on. So he kicked it onto the car. And I don't know if you've ever heard the song. It's an acoustic song by Led Zeppelin. And then Pete goes, he goes, I didn't know I thought he just did hard rock. I go, well, no, it's a band. He goes, oh, Led Zeppelin's. Yeah, I said, it's not a guy. He had no idea. But he liked the song. So then I just sent him Over the Hills and Far Away, which is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. But anyway.
What a guy, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, but that is neither here nor there. Text message came in that says, on November 25th, on 100,000 watt radio, Brett Blakemore said the following: the Bears won't win another game this year. Well, how's he feeling about that prediction? Second question, how's he feeling about his chances in the preposterous statement tournament? You actually said they'd never win another game.
This season.
Yeah. You were bitter, weren't you?
It didn't go well.
Bitter, envious.
I feel pretty confident. Maybe this could run. I feel pretty confident I'm not going to get into the tournament.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll tell you.
We'll see.
Here's what I'll tell you. That was a hell of a football. And not just the result. As a matter of fact, here's what I'll tell you. And I know there are Viking fans that could never do this no matter what. There are Viking fans, I think, that if Green Bay won a game, it would get Minnesota into the playoffs, and if Green Bay lost, it wouldn't get them in. They would still root against Green Bay. They'd rather not go to postseason play if Green Bay were to win a football game. I'm not that way. I was, go Packers. Dun, 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 dun. Go, Pack, go. Because if they won, had they beaten Detroit, and Detroit beat Pittsburgh and Minnesota and then Chicago, even if they beat San Francisco, if Chicago went 1-1 and Detroit went 2-0, last game of the season would be for the last playoff spot.
Yeah.
It would have been and Lions probably would have lost. It didn't matter anyways because Pittsburgh, and the end of that game was... That
was weird too.
There were three really good football games that week. I mean, the Detroit-Pittsburgh game wasn't really good. It was just a crazy ending. I put it in the category of a loss that's only the Lions. Only the Lions lose a game like that when you have first and goal from the 1 with 25 seconds to go and you don't score. But the Seattle Rams game was spectacular. Mm-hmm. Though I like the Bears. Packers won better, not so much because of the result, because I do like to see the Packers lose, but I was actually pulling for the Packers in that game because that would have Detroit's chances to postseason play was less formidable had the Packers won that game. But I liked the Packer-Bears game because there was a lot of good defense, too, and the cold weather and all that. And the Darnold and what's-his-face, Stafford, threw for almost 1,000 yards combined. I don't like bad defense. And you probably wonder why I like Detroit, because in the game against Pittsburgh, they gave up not one, but two 45-yard touchdowns and a 45-yard pass, all 45 yards by some chance. But anyway, I like the Bears. Takeaway, I know as a Packer fan, you probably don't. But see, I can pull myself away from, like I've said this over and over again. The Packers, Viking fans don't want to hear, maybe Bears fans don't either. Lions fans, the Packers are really good and they're set up for success. It seems like for a long time. Things can change in a hurry, but their roster is so young. There was a stat, and I have it somewhere on my phone. I wish I could pull it out again. They have like 18 players that have been drafted in the past 3-4 years, and like 10 or 12 of them are starters. Next on that list is Detroit. Not quite as many draft picks that are still with the team and not quite as many starters, but next, and then it's the Bears, and the Vikings are on the bottom of that. And we all know, everybody's well aware, if you've been following, that Kwesi and O'Connell and the rest of the staff just haven't done a real good job of drafting players. But Green Bay's got that's a good football team. So are the Bears. And here's what's crazy. And I remember getting ripped for this. When the season started, I said, I think the Bears are as good as any team in the division, that they were going to be. The Ben Johnson effect, the Bears retooled their offensive line just like the Vikings did. The Bears just got the better players. Well, we talked about it. I think it might have been a Mark Craig piece. Somebody, maybe it was, and then again, it could have been Alec Lewis. Somebody talked about the two linemen that the Vikings got haven't really panned out. Two guys for the Bears. One of them, I think, is going to the Pro Bowl, and the other one has been really good all season long. So you have a really good offensive line. They have a decent running game, and Williams now seems to be. He makes better decisions, and it's easier to make better decisions and not hang on to the ball as long, or you can hang on to even a titch longer when you've got a good offensive line protecting you. That's a good football team. So I can get behind the Bears. I really can. But yeah, for the Vikings and the Lions, there's a lot of they got to take a long, hard look at themselves to see where they're headed going next year. You saw the story about the Chiefs. They're moving. They're not going to be in Kansas City anymore.
Yeah.
Headline: Associated Press. Dave Skretta writes the story for AP. Chiefs move to Kansas leaves Missouri fans heartbroken over another NFL franchise leaving. Dateline: Kansas City, the state of Missouri, losing its third NFL franchise and the second in the past decade. And the decision by the Chiefs to depart their longtime home at Arrowhead for a new dome facility in Kansas may hurt the most, which makes sense. St. Louis Rams when they won a big game, were they in St. Louis? They were, right?
I want to say they were with Warner.
Yeah. I think that was St. Louis based. There was, what other teams did they lose?
Third.
This is the third. Losing the Chiefs. Did they lose the Rams twice?
I think they did.
Did the Rams come and go? No, the St. Louis Cardinals went to Arizona.
Oh,
so the St. Louis Cardinals go to Arizona. The Chiefs announced their intention to move after Kansas lawmakers approved a bond package earlier in the day to help pay for the new facility. It will be built near Kansas Speedway in a retail district known as the Legends in Kansas City, Kansas. Only about 30 miles from Arrowhead, but a distance that has perhaps not felt so far. And there's all sorts of quotes from here for fans. They're crying. They're devastated. It's like, well, to me, it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. They're not going to be in Missouri proper. But it would be like if the Vikings decided they were going to play their games and move their stadium down to Cannon Falls. It's not that big of a deal. It's still, you can still get there. I think they're still going to be called the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Or are they going to call
Kansas City?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's actually in Kansas City. But yeah, is it in Kansas City, Kansas? Is it in Kansas City, Kansas?
I would assume so. I don't know for a fact, because there is Kansas City, Kansas.
I know there is.
And Kansas City, Missouri. That'd be like if the Vikings moved to Arden Hills or something.
Yeah, well, a little bit further.
Well,
they should have been building in Arden Hills. Maybe this guy, I didn't think it was actually Kansas City, Kansas proper. I thought it was somewhere else. But you're
I
probably
don't know,
right.
but I'm assuming.
No, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So, and I understand, but to me, and also it's not like when the Colts left Baltimore and went, to Cleveland, or when the North Stars left and went down to Dallas. It's not like they're completely gone. You can still get season tickets. You can still go to the game. And look, you can paint the ownership as the bad guys, and I think most people do, and I can if you want me to. It ends up more than anything, really, I think, being greed more than anything, right? Getting a better deal in Kansas than you do in Kansas City.
I think you're bearing the lead a little bit because as a Green Bay guy, there's another team that's gone soft. They're going dome.
Yeah, they are.
Kansas City has been a cold weather, cold football town. I can remember the Dolphins going there and it was like sub-zero. And now they're going soft. Yeah. Going to the dome.
Well, yeah, I know.
Bears are going to too.
I get that. Here's what I'll tell you. I don't think you can say it's going soft.
No, that's the best.
As a fan, I'd much rather be in a dome stadium than be sitting outside. I mean, I love the frozen tundra and all of this and the other thing. I don't mind the players having to play in it. I had a wonderful time watching Bears-Packers as I was sitting on my couch with the fireplace going. It was wonderful. But here's what I just read. Hold on. And now I'm mad because I took a picture off the TV screen. Here it is. You ready? It says, the Chiefs get to keep 100% of the revenue from all stadium activities, including ticket sales, concessions, sponsorships, naming rights deals, personal seat licenses, and more. That applies to NFL games and all other events, concerts, basketball games, etc. Kansas will own the stadium, with the Chiefs paying $7 million in rent annually. But that money doesn't go back to the state. It goes into an account that the Chiefs can use for renovations, repairs, and operating expenses. That means the Chiefs can use their own rent money to hire stadium security, parking staff, and concession vendors throughout the season. How did they turn that down? And really, you could just say, well, you still should be loyal to the city and the state that has been with you forever. Because it's not like the Chiefs. I know the last 10 years have been really, really good. And, and they had, they won the big game in 1969 when they beat our soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. But it's hard to blame the Hunt family, isn't it? I mean, Kansas City had the opportunity to keep them. They really did. Because wasn't there like I think it was a county-wide referendum. I think it was the county, whatever county Kansas City is located in. Maybe it was state, maybe it was city, but I think it was a county thing. They had a vote. You want to help them pay for a stadium? And 52% to 48% or whatever the final outcome was. I said no. And look, I understand. There was a time, we've had a lot of stadium battles here in this town. We know that. There was a time that I was for stadiums and I was against kids. Because if you're for stadiums, you have to be against kids, because that money that the state would spend, or the city or the county or all three would spend on a stadium, could be used to help kids. Then I was for kids and against stadiums. Once I had kids, I was like, well, I can understand now. Then I was against both kids and stadiums. I was against kids, against stadiums. It was Wet Blanket Wednesday, 7 days a week, 365. Then I said, you know what? I kind of like stadiums and I kind of like kids too. That's where I stand right now. I like kids and I like stadiums. But when you get an offer like that, and you can say that the team should be loyal, and they would have stayed, and I don't think the deal that they've received from the state of Kansas, from Kansas City, Kansas, is way, that's a sweetheart of a deal compared to what I don't think the city of Kansas City, Missouri was giving them, or the county, whatever. I don't think they were giving them that much of a deal. I think it would have been, look, here in Minnesota, I think both the Bulls, the Goose that laid the golden egg, the Twin Stadium, and then the Goose that laid the golden egg 2.0, the Viking Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I think ownership, I don't remember the exact details. I think ownership, the Pohlads and the Wilts both put in a boatload of money, but they also got a lot of it paid for, and then they've got other benefits and this and that and the other thing, and so it's not as though it's like, and again, I don't want to make any broad brush, because I don't know the inside scoop on, I don't know, did the Wills get, for concerts and stuff, do they get a chunk of that, a lot of it, any of it, none of it? I don't think they're paying off any. I don't think either the Pohlads or the Wills are probably paying off. They're probably, I would think they've paid off whatever they had to by now, but maybe not. Maybe there's still debt service there. I don't know how it works, but I feel bad for the fans that are in Kansas City proper, but make a better deal.
Vote yes.
Somebody sent a text that said it's a money grab. Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It is a money grab. And, look at, you familiar with Liza Minnelli?
Should I be?
Probably not. I mean,
okay.
She was, do you know who Judy Garland is?
Yes.
Liza Minnelli is Judy Garland's daughter. And she was in a musical called Cabaret. Life is a cabaret, old chum. And there's a song in it called Money. Money makes the world go round, the world go round. So my point is, is there anybody out there that if they were in the same situation, there's probably a handful of you that you're very altruistic. Can you look up the word altruistic? Altruistic. Coming to the Grand Casino Arena, altruistic, along with testicle torsion.
Altruistic.
Wow. I don't know why that.
Altruistic.
And what is...
showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others without care for one's own interests.
There's a handful of people out there that are like that. Jesus, Santa, and the Wright brothers. After that, everybody's out. Okay? So unless you are, they're probably going to say, nope, I would take the less money. And I would build in Kansas City. Okay, if you really believe that, I don't, I'll have to take your word for it because I don't know you. But I think most people, given their druthers, their smother. I do know who the Smothers Brothers are.
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really funny brother duo, the Smothers Brothers, or were they the Druthers Brothers? I think they were the Druthers Brothers, whatever they were.
That's a Google in the break.
Yeah. Anyway, I think most people would take the money, right? Show me the money. It's like, come on. So that's their fault for not. It's their fault for not saying, yeah, we'll help. Because, and I understand people look at it as like, well, it's like racketeering. It's like a form of kidnapping. They're holding a ransom note. Either give us what we want or remove the team. Yeah, but it's their ball. They get to make the rules. So sorry about that. We'll pause. We'll come back. Did you do a 5-3-4?
I can whip up a 5-3-4.
Watch it whip one up because we got 2 hours we got to get through here. And I got to heat up my lunch and everything like that. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. 2 more hours to go here on the Common Man program on a Christmas Eve right here on the Fan.